guys that are in like a jumpsuit, and you notice that they have the same logo of the Chernobyl's Revenge on their jumpsuit as the ship does. So
Looks like somebody wanted this.
there's lights up on the there's several towers on the ship that have the spotlights up against it, and you can see like the Russian flag. You can see the numbers for the ship, and then you can see the logo of the ship also. So you can match that logo from the ship to their jumpsuits.
Looks like somebody didn't want anyone on that ship. Took all of them out. Brought them all out here.
Yeah. So and about what else are you guys doing with like these with these bodies? I mean, you know that there's a couple gunshot wounds. You know that there's also several knife wounds also. Is there anything else that you guys want to do with these bodies as you're kind of looking them over and whatnot?
Peter will kick them in the nuts to see if they're still alive and dead.
No, they're definitely dead. They're not. Alexei was checking them for pulses and nothing. They're dead, Jim. They're dead.
Do they have any weapons on them?
They do. The security guard had a ring for a nightstick, but as you're kind of shuffling the bodies around, you actually can find a nightstick that kind of had fallen underneath him. But yeah, but no type of guns or whatnot.
Are there any footprints in the blood, maybe leading away or toward or?
Yeah, there are actually. Now that you look for that, you notice that there's some going back to the ship. But after a few steps, the blood comes off of the shoe and you lose the track basically. But there's some prints. There's a couple blood prints that are kind of going several different ways, and the scuff marks from actually dragging the bodies too. But yeah, you can see they're going in several directions.
All right, guys, we better stay quiet, stay low. Let's see if we can get to the ship.
Alexis, my darling, do you have anything in his pockets? Was he on anybody's payroll?
That's a great question. I'll check his pockets. I'll check their pockets.
All right. So on the guard, you find his wallet. The employees from the ship, basically the workers from the ship, they have like some type of like international working card that they can go to different countries and stuff. But other than that, you're fumbling around. Give me one last notice check as you're kind of. Well, actually, give me a knowledge check. What kind of knowledge stuff do you have on Alexei?
English, it looks like.
Yeah. I would say just give me a general smarts check. All right. So as you're kind of you're poking around these guys, the one thing the gun wounds on the guys from the Chernobyl's Revenge. You're kind of looking at the wounds, and it looks like a medium caliber type of like a pistol, probably like what you're using, the 9mm Glock. It seems like it's a pretty popular gun for your type of work.
All right. Okay. So nothing too high caliber. You're probably getting close. All right. Does anybody else want to do anything here at this building?
Yeah.
If not, we should probably head over.
And yeah, and you can also see that there's some of the burns around the wound. So you would think that it would be a pretty close shot that he was shot pretty close, possibly maybe even point blank.
I let them close to Peter. They die when I hit them with my friend Louisville.
Nice. So what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to look around a little bit more?
I think we need to head to the ship. Keep an eye on these windows, though. Don't let anybody sneak up behind us.
All right. So as you guys start, it's like I said, it's dark. Several of the street lights are down. So everybody, give me another set of notice rolls. Now, as you get to the Chernobyl, you take about 5 minutes. You guys are actually kind of really worried about this. I would suspect everyone would be. Your cousin still hasn't called, and you're noticing that under the lights, it seems like a lot of the lights have been shot out because there's like glass residue under these lights. So it looks like that's why it's so dark, is because basically all of the damn lights have been shot out. You also notice when you get to the Chernobyl mech that the gangplank to the ship is basically still down. And there's also a ramp that was put down from the ship, and pretty much everybody had some good rolls again. Bull, Irina, Johnny, basically everybody but Ivan. Ivan's still fascinated with his brother. He looks up to him so much. He's just like, yeah, I can't believe I'm with my brother right now. I'm just kidding. But anyway, everybody notices that there's several more of these ship workers that are in these jumpsuits that are basically strung on the docks. It's kind of, sort of the dock kind of winds down a little bit. Yeah, you notice that there's more of these guys, and also in the water. Bull, you notice, you were kind of looking around, and there's actually a couple floating between the side of the ship and the dock itself.
Look there, it's floaters. No land floaters.
Yeah, same thing. You guys are looking at these bodies, and they're basically they're dead. They're definitely dead. But it looks the same thing. Close range shot. Same medium caliber type of weapon.
I'm getting a bad feeling that what we're looking for might not be on this boat anymore.
Yeah, and the one thing is with Irina, the one thing with your raise is several of these guys have multiple entry points really close together. So you're thinking that there could be some type of automatic weaponry involved also. So that the news goes from bad to kind of worse. You know what I mean?
Alexis, my darling, have you noticed that there's multiple wounds? They seem more than one bullet fired. These are not sharpshooters. They look like they spray and pray.
Well, at this close range, I guess it didn't matter for these poor guys. Alright, let's see what we can find on this ship, but I'm not sure anything's still here.
Alright, so you guys go up the gangplank.
Alexis, do you think this might be some type of ambush?
Possibly, yeah. You think it could have been an ambush whenever they put the planks down, because when you go into the ship, Bull, you're noticing a lot of different casings, not different from the ones that you had already seen. The 2 points that you found bodies along both the dock and the first points around the corner of this first building where number 1 is. So yeah, there's a larger casing shell that it looks like there was definitely gunfire, and you can find several more bodies.
How large was this weapon?
The bird will pick up under the casing. Read the caliber on the back of the casing.
It's like a was like a 30. What is it? A 30? Let's say it's 30 caliber. So it would be like a rifle type of caliber, not any kind of small automatic, not like the 9mm shells that you guys are finding around.
How big was this supposed nuclear weapon? Was it like a small, like 200, 300 pounds, or? Are we
That's one thing that your father just didn't know. He had no clue. He got wind after he was doing his snooping around, and just all he got wind was it was an old Soviet Union, one of the warheads that was never taken care of, never disposed of, which there were a lot during that time. And once he found out that it was one of those, he didn't care how big it was. He just wanted to get it before the Russians actually sold it to Al Qaeda. So that's why you guys are here. The size of the warhead doesn't matter.
Kind of like with women, size does matter, but here, no.
I just wanted to see if there was a way that they would have gotten it off those planks if it was big enough. But I guess
Yeah, there's a ramp. Now like I said, not only the gangplank, but there are some ramps. And if everybody wants to give me a notice check, one more notice check on the ship. Sorry for all the notice checks, but you guys are rolling good. Oh, nice raise there, Johnny. You notice you're actually on top of things when you're on the ship. First off, you notice that two things. There's heavy scuff marks on the ship's deck where something was drug, and you can see the cranes over this. So there's like the crane on the ship that lifted up some type of cargo box. All right. So you can tell that the cargo box is probably moved already. Secondly, the corpses, they're not only the Russians, there's a couple Middle Eastern corpses on the ship also. So now you guys put two and two together, because now you got Russian corpses and you got Middle Eastern corpses all on the ship. You haven't found any Middle Eastern corpses. No. Well, I don't know. That's something for you guys to talk about right now, because Johnny. I'm sure Johnny's probably relaying that message back to you. Holy shit!
Yeah, guys, it looks like they already took everything off the ship, and there's dead Middle Eastern guys here. So we might want to stick to the shadows in case anyone's sticking them out and make sure they're all dead.
That's a good call. Wonder which way they went out. We need to track this back. Maybe.
Hey,
Figure out where they went.
I know a good way to check dead. Kicking the balls.
Kick them in the balls. Yeah,
Why not
these
use your
guys.
baseball bat?
These guys don't move. They're definitely dead as doorknobs.
Irene looks at
I guess they
Bull
get
and
their
goes,
75 virgins now.
Irene looks at the Bull and goes, that's a good way to check if you're alive too, my darling. And she wails back and kicks him in the balls.
What's up, Benj?
Do the scuff marks end on the plank, or do they maybe keep going a little bit down down where the ship is moored?
Well, basically there's rows of these cargo boxes on the Chernobyl's Revenge, and on the end of one of these rows is where you notice this container was moved. So you can see that there's gouges in the wooden deck, basically deep gouges, like half inch deep, where the wood is like curled up from something scraping along it, and then you can see that there's like a from all of the mist of being on the open water for so long, you can tell that there's tire tracks that are actually going down the large ramp, not the gangplank. That's pretty much just for single file going down. But yeah, you notice that there are tracks that are basically going off of the ship.
So whatever this was, it was big.
Yeah, they had to have a big truck to get it out of here too. Then.
Yeah, not a semi, but sort of like it would be like one of the larger FedEx or UPS trucks. Not like the van that they have. No, not like it would be like a semi front end with a box on it, sort of like a large produce truck or something.
I'm wondering if Kennedy was able to maybe hitch a ride on that, or unfortunately get killed and hitch a ride on that. Might be able to track his phone again.
Yeah, is there any way we can like see if he's still here to try to find him?
Not with Johnny couldn't do anything tracking because he would need the computer, but you call his phone several more times and there's just no answer. And in
Dave,
fact,
would it be possible to use that Noble Edge? It says here I got contacts and minions. Do I know anybody who might be a computer tech that I could just give a call to see if they could do it for us?
yeah, sure, that awesome. I love that. I'm going to give you an extra Benny for playing that edge. So we'll give you an extra Benny for that. I like that. So yeah, you got a contact called Squeaks, and that's his street name is Squeaks. So you call, hey, what do you need there? What do you need there, pal? Long time no see there.
Hey, Squeaks, how's it going? Hey, no time to talk. We gotta track cousin Kennedy. We need to know where his phone is. So go ahead and run a track on that and let us know where it is. And if it's still moving, we're gonna need a play-by-play.
Oh well, this kind of stuff takes a little bit of time. You know what I mean? It's a little costly. I might have to download a program real quick to find out. So I'm gonna have to send you a bill for this. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Time is money. So I'll add a little bit of extra. We don't have much time to spare.
All right, so I'm plugging in here. I'm plugging in here, and I'm looking at and what's the number to what'd you say his name was? Jerry? What's his name? Jerry Milinkovich, whatever his name. All you Russians over there, you guys all sound the same.
Kennedy Nikolovich.
Oh, what a name, huh? All right, so I'm looking up his number right now, and it looks like yeah. Let me go ahead and trace this too. What I'm gonna go ahead and put in your number. I'm gonna trace a little triangular pattern here, and wow, looks like you guys are pretty close to one another. I'd say probably within probably about 300-400 yards to one another. It doesn't look like it's moving. Doesn't look like your signal. I'd say try. I would try southwest. Southwest would be in basically this direction here. Southwest. He says, yeah, try to the southwest. That's what I would do. Hey, gotta go. Ratso's here. Ratso's knocking the door. I got another job. Ratso's here. So
Thanks, Squeaks.
hey,
There.
I'll send you that bill, pal. See ya. And he hangs up the phone. Click.
All right, awesome. Hey,
Squeaks. Good job on that. I like that. Another Benny for you. So you got 4 Bennies. Everybody else has 3.
Sweet. All right, guys. So I relay that information.
I like that. Good
He's
job
within
on that.
400 yards southwest. We may need to split up a little bit, see if we can't find him.
I like that.
Okay. I take the front and see if I can maybe find him and maybe break some heads too.
Sounds good. If you meet anybody, do not contact them directly. We'll all meet back. We'll take anybody we find together.
Yeah. So as you guys are starting to get off of the ship, Kiwi, you, out of the corner of your eye, you kind of see something move in a shadow. And you're not too sure what it is. You don't even know if you want to say anything about it, but it's sort of like something moved, and you can smell like a cigarette.
I'm gonna try to like try to get into a shadow and see if I can't get like a closer view or a better view of what happened over there.
Yeah, give me a notice check real quick. We'll see how much you actually noticed. All right, so you definitely notice someone, especially when the smoke. You notice that little cherry butt on the cigarette kind of go out really quick, and you hear a sort of like someone stomping out a cigarette, and it's immediately in your peripheral vision over to the left. So it's dark over there, but you know that something's definitely over there because you had seen the cigarette go out.
I'm gonna whisper to people or to our group here and say, "There's somebody over there smoking or whatever. They didn't want to be seen. You might want to check it out."
Sort of as like you guys are kind of like walking nonchalantly off of the ship. You're kind of saying that kind of thing. All right.
As nonchalantly as you can be with dead bodies everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Everybody's guns drawn and shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want me to go check it? I have a way when I talk to people. They really like me for some reason.
Go find him. I'll back you up.
We might want somebody to sneak up, so if they're dangerous, have a group
You
of
go
them.
that direction.
Darlings, why don't we do this
Maybe
my
you
way?
can sneak up and
Why scare the man? He's around dead bodies. Let's talk.
Oh no, he would have done the shooting.
If that were true, you probably would have shot us. Let's see here. I'll give it a try, Irene. Maybe we'll, everybody, give her some cover.
All right. So how are you guys gonna do this? Are you gonna kind of sneak around or what?
I'm gonna try to.
Or just
sneak
walk
up.
right over to him, guns drawn, or what? I didn't hear what you guys were gonna. I didn't hear
I'm
you guys say
gonna try
anything.
to sneak up on him.
Yes,
All right.
I'm here.
So basically, it was in a dark part of kind of between a couple containers. So I guess you guys would probably kind of walk around and try to come up from behind, or.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
All right. So if you have a stealth check, give me the stealth roll. If you don't have stealth, give me the unskilled check, which is
Hey,
right above. Hmm.
Eileen kind of walks out in the open and kind of like whistles over to him, whistles at him or her because we don't know if it's a boy or girl,
Hmm.
and kind of calls out, try to keep the attention like towards her, just calling out to him.
Calling out to the person in the shadows.
Yeah, like asking him or her to come out. Let's talk.
All right. So as you're doing that, you got Peter, Ivan. I guess everybody else is going around, and as you're going up, you can hear coughs, and they sound like a really, really wet cough, like a something like a gurgle, and this guy was smoking because he knows that this guy's in bad shape. You get over there, you're kind of putting your flashlight around, and this guy was shot, basically straight in the gut, and he's bad off, blood everywhere, and it looks like he was trying to sneak a smoke before he thinks that his time is done, and he's Russian, and he basically speaks in Russian. He goes, "What do you want? Go ahead and finish me off, you Middle Eastern pigs." And he spits like a bloody spit in the direction of you. His face has got blood all over it. You really can't see. So he thinks that you're one of the attackers still.
Well, once Irene walks over to him, puts her hand on his face, and goes, "Darling, do I sound like a Middle Eastern to you?"
No, you sound like my Svitlana back in the motherlands.
Oh, darling, I am much way better than your motherland.
So what else are you gonna ask him? Are you gonna say anything to him? Because he's in pretty bad shape. He's bleeding all over the place. So this guy's definitely. You don't even have to do a medicine check to realize that this guy ain't gonna make it, or a healing check to realize that this guy's just not gonna make it.
Who did this to you, comrade?
So everybody, all right. So everybody gets back around, and you can see that Irina's bent down with her flashlight. This guy, there's blood everywhere, and you can see the cigarette that was put out. And he answers you, telling you they were speaking some sort of Middle Eastern type of tongue, and I don't know what the hell they were saying. And he starts to cough. He says there were nearly a dozen of them. They got us
Were
by
they driving?
They had a cargo truck. A cargo truck. There was something that they took from one of the cargo carriers and put it on the truck, and he dies.
We will avenge you, comrade.
Listen, in Italy, the comrade died a true hero.
Well, they could be anywhere. All right, so let's keep our eye out. Keep looking though for Kennedy.
All right. So yeah, you know that Gennady is a southwest from your location.
All right. Well, do we want to stay together or do we want to split up, guys? I'm gonna ask group.
Yeah, and you guys are still, you guys are able to see that there's tons of like shell casings around. You find a couple more bodies of Russians and from Al Qaeda as well. But you don't find any of their weapons, and nothing else to really be found on the ship. Just where you could tell where the moisture is on the deck from the wooden deck. You can tell that the ship, this vehicle was drove down the ramp. You could definitely tell that much. There's a lot of shells, especially in the area where you do notice that there's a lot of shells in the area of where the cargo was the cargo box was put onto this truck.
Does it look like the truck may have been hit and leaking any fluids, or?
You know what? Actually, I'll just tell you right now that you can see that there's a very small. There's like a trail of oil. Good job on that. Yeah, you get down there and kind of smell it and taste it. You don't know if it's blood or what. It's like a very dark red type of liquid, and it tastes like oil. Smells like oil.
All right, let's get down off this dock, man. We got to track this thing down. We'll find Kennedy or both, right fast. So let's get moving back up into the buildings.
All right. So as you guys are coming off of the ship, you can.
Did you want to split up then?
That's up to you guys.
I think we should split up, but stay within eyesight
What
of
did
each
you
other.
want to do, boss?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Johnny. We'll split up a little bit,
I
but
like that
stay
idea,
within
boss.
30, 40 meters of each other so that we don't lose line of sight.
Yeah, and that way if there's anyone left and they start shooting, we know where they're at.
All right. You guys are getting.
We'll take the front policy so that I can protect you guys.
You're traveling. You notice that the oil is getting a little bit more denser, so it looks like it was leaking pretty lightly, but over time it seems like it's starting to leak more and more. And it looks like it's heading over this large building, because when you guys are following, you have two groups that are 40 yards apart, keeping sight with one another. And I'm going to draw a little bit on here. And this oil is basically coming from here. and then it comes this way, and then you can see that it